Hello, I'm Chris Richmond, and today I'm going to be talking about Fakenham Film Festival. Now, Fakenham Film Festival is a new local event celebrating local films at the town's central cinema. Started by community group Active Fakenham as a bit of fun last year, it showcases a mixture of short local films alongside commercial feature films shot within Norfolk. This year it included a film competition organised by fellow filmmaker and schoolteacher Ash Williams.
This is our first ever short film competition night.
Ash has taken the event to the next level and whittled down all the entries into the final 12. As a returning filmmaker from last year, I was asked to be one of the judges, and we had a private screening showcasing the final 12, before spending a considerable time trying to pick the winner. I think we were all surprised by the high quality of entries. The winners were announced at a special awards evening at the cinema, with Ash doing the honours.
So you all have been entered, you've all managed to get through quite a number of entries to get to the finals, and you should all feel very proud of yourselves. So, before we begin, can we give ourselves a round of applause, please?
The winners were, for the under-18s category, Noah Boyce and his film Blocked Together. For the over-18s, Simon Edmondson and his animated film Isolation. Then we had the Fakenham Film Society Audience Choice Award, which went to Chris Wayland and his, I found, rather relatable animated film On Form. And finally, the Made in Norfolk Theme Award, won by Will Tiley and his film West Fen Cross, which I was asked to present.
Very well done. Can I just say a couple of words about this one?
Where should I start?
Where you like.
Right.
Yeah, so that one particularly resonated with me. I spent several years not far from East Rudden, near where that junction was. I know that junction very well.
Can you hear me?
It did take quite a bit of scouring on Google Maps to find a road that was...
Didn't take me long to find out.
Yeah, I know. It's like the grass verge, well, if it wasn't that wide, we would not have been able to film the film.
That's what gave it away, the wide verges. So yeah, and you really captured the bleakness of a Norfolk lane in the middle of winter. So well done.
Thank you.
And I'm here at the location for West Fen Cross, an indistinct crossing of two country lanes deep in the Norfolk countryside, and yet I recognised it straight away. Located a couple of miles north of the village of East Rudham, on the road to Bagthorpe, I actually used to commute along this stretch of road when I lived at West Raynham and did some work at a North Norfolk boatyard. I think Will captured the bleakness of it perfectly. Now, aside from the film competition, Fakenham Film Festival also showcased one of my short films about the Fakenham Gasworks.
come to Fakenham Gas Museum, which I hope you will, you'll also see in our workshops we have displays of gas meters and gas fires and gas cookers. We've got gas fridges, gas tumble dryer.
This was followed by a Q&A session led by Ash, which I'll show you now in its entirety. A short disclaimer though, I'm not the best public speaker at the best of times, and my mind was fried after doing a day of bus driving before the interview. Hello, I'm Chris Richmond, and today I'm off to Fakenham to discover a forgotten corner of the town's industrial past.
So, firstly, welcome Chris, thanks for coming along.
No problem.
So,
It's nice to see something local happening with films.
first question Chris, I really need to ask this. Why the Gasworks?
Well, I mean, why not? It's quite unique. It is, as you've just learned, it is the only one within England and Wales. There is still one in Scotland. So, of all the uniquities, it's here in Fakenham. So I thought, after visiting 11 years ago to one of their evening events when they opened the doors for the museums at night event, I went along and had a look, because, you know, before that it was just this kind of mysterious looking shop front with a load of old appliances in. Like I said at the start of the video, I wanted to find out a bit more, so I went along to that. And then I mean, last year at the film festival I did a film about this cinema, so I thought, well, perhaps for this year it's an ideal subject, so there we are.
It's like you've obviously done a huge amount of research into actually getting there, and obviously like when you're walking around you're having to like adapt as you go, but how much research did you put into the shoot before you even walked in the door?
It's difficult to say really, because you think you know what you're going to get when you get there, but then you find as you're going around, actually no, there's a nice shot there I could do, or oh, hang on, no, there's something else there. And I think I went back about 3 times to get every shot used in that film, because there was always gaps that needed filling, or I had ideas, oh, that could work here, and so that, you know, the majority was done in the first visit, but then I went back and did some extra bits.
Yeah. Because I think that's like the big difference as well, like when you're kind of like a filmmaker on your own, if you find that there's like gaps in your footage, because like when you're putting everything together in the edit and you go, and you might have the person say like, oh yeah, when I mentioned this figure, you go in your edit file and you realise, oh no, I forgot to film that, what am I going to do? When you're like on your own, you can actually just nip in the car, go back, get the shot, come back, finish it off, which actually is almost freeing in some ways.
Yeah, it's not so bad when it's local. I mean, yeah, if it's somewhere miles and miles away, it's not very efficient.
No.
But luckily, well, even now I'm just half an hour away, so it's a case of, you know, arrange with Nick, oh, I just need to come back and film a couple of bits. So that was it.
And obviously you got a lot of shots of Backton, you got like the coastal shots, and did you get all those beforehand, or did you have them?
No. There's a clip there, the railway clip. That was an old bit of stock footage that I'd taken a long time ago on a very old grainy camera. It's just the job for the clip there. But no, the Backton was one of the last shots I got, because I specifically had to go out to Backton to get that shot, because it had to be done.
Absolutely.
I had this idea of a nice wide panning shot with the gaswork, you know, the gas terminal in. I just went out and did it.
Like, see, I gotta say, like some of the shots you've got in there, like you know when you're watching like documentaries on BBC 4 and stuff, and like it has this same like almost like style to it. You have like the slow camera zooming into like a building, and you have like the shots of people walking away, like doing like, I like to call them the noddy shots, and people go, yes,
yeah,
dude. And it's like, and actually you have the voice over the background, but you've got every single one of these shots in. Like, do you feel like inspired by these kind of films, or do you feel like you've got
there must be an element of inspiration? Yeah, I can't say exactly where I get all my inspiration from. It's a variety of things. But yeah, those shots are storytelling, aren't they? You know, they're a transition from one place to another. Yes, all right, they're faked, you see. You say, hang on, I'll set this up. Right now, we'll just do you see, Nick was used to all this. He's I think he did work in broadcast years and years ago, so he was quite helpful. But yeah, that's what you need for storytelling.
Absolutely, and that's what it is, isn't it? Like documentary is storytelling. I think we celebrate kind of like narrative films of like, you know, great big epics with like the pyramids of Giza or something exploding over here, but actually when it's just pure real people with documentary, it is almost like the essence of storytelling, and actually you really do capture that, so really well done. Now, did you find that, like, obviously you work on your own, you're putting everything together, you're the editor, you're the producer, you're the director, everything. Do you find sometimes actually like there is just points where you think this is not possible?
No, I think it's more of a case of if you know something's not possible, you have to work around it to get the best of what you can get. You know, I mean, there is always stock footage which you can pay for, but I don't like using third-party stock footage when I can do as much as I can myself. That's what it's all about, isn't it, when you're a filmmaker?
Just problem solving. And that's
Yeah,
brilliant.
pretty much.
That's a fantastic answer. I love that. Right, does anybody have any questions they'd like to ask Chris? Because I know, well, I'm just going to ask him lots of questions all night. Does anybody have a question they'd like to ask Chris? Oh yeah, go for it.
Do you have a sort of target length of film you try to make? And how do you go about editing something down to that target if you have one?
I think part of the joy of me doing it for my own kind of thing is I don't have those limitations. I think as a commercial editor I'd probably be hopeless, because I have been guilty in the past of trying to cram in too many shots over a short period of time. We've had this conversation, haven't we? Somebody, well, a chap called John Thornycroft, who lives out on the Broads, producer of Ground Force, he said to me one of his pieces of advice was to slow down. You leave shots out, you know, but just slow everything down a little bit.
So it was like letting it breathe, wasn't it?
Yeah, letting it breathe, leaving space. But yeah, I'm lucky I don't have that time restraint.
Because you've actually made a whole series of these play films, haven't you? Like, is this like you've actually got how many films of it like this is it now?
Well, in that particular series, bear in mind it covers all sorts of things I do. It's 40 now, I think.
40 films.
Yeah. But they vary. You know, that one was about 15 minutes. Some are about 5. But yeah, I just have that freedom to make them as long or as short as I feel the story needs.
I think that's like. I mean, just keeping in mind, like, I think that's the level of Alfred Hitchcock level of feature films. Like, that's quite impressive, actually. Like, each one of these is actually quite a lot of work that goes into it. It doesn't matter the length, it's like, the amount of work is the same. So really well done. Has anyone got any other questions at all?
Any surprises? Was there something that you found whilst you were there filming that you weren't anticipating doing?
That's a difficult one, really. I mean, certainly the process of the gas making, I wasn't expecting Nick to be quite so clued up and able to talk about the entire process. That saved me quite a lot of work in having to explain it myself, really. But, you know, he's clearly got the gift of the gabber and saved me a lot of work there. But yeah, it's quite surprising what he kind of taught me and how willing he was to talk about it all.
I think there was a question. Yeah.
Well, I've got 3, but the good news is I'm going to go ask one of them. Have you ever filmed anything over time, like a project? This, you know, you went in and did that thing, it was there. I've just got an idea that you filmed something over, say, a year.
There is one I've done of a local building. That was the control tower at North Creek. I started filming not long after they bought the tower, which is at Egmere on the way to Wells. They bought that in about 2011, 2012, and I kind of cottoned on in 2012, met them and we talked about it, and I think they finally finished in around 2015, and yeah, that film fits that question really. It was a case of filming little bits, but Nigel
the chap who owns it with his wife Claire, he said it's interesting watching it back because he could also see how my filmmaking developed over that time as well, which is a nice thing to say. But yeah, that's also on my YouTube channel somewhere. But yeah.
And it's like, and actually kind of like, you've really, like, I mean, I've been making films for a long time, and actually I worked with a documentary filmmaker as one of my first bosses in Wales, and we were making documentaries about farms. And we had this one moment where I sat in this farmhouse, sort of helping edit and stuff, and he says to me, are you the filmmaker in your village? And I went, I didn't really know what he meant by that. And he says, every community should have a filmmaker. And he says, you need somebody who's local, and they understand locals, and they understand the area, and they want to document it, and they want to record it for history. And I feel like Chris is doing actually a really good job of that, because actually you're capturing stuff, and you're capturing places and capturing people that actually locals know, but the world doesn't know. And without you doing that,
it's all about showcasing our local area.
Absolutely.
But not just the bits that everyone knows. I mean, we all know about nice places like Holcombe Beach and stuff like that, but it's all the quirky stuff that I like, all the unique things that people perhaps don't know about,
Yeah.
They interest me and hopefully interest other people.
Which is your most favourite place?
That must have been in there somewhere, mustn't it? But I didn't prepare for this. That is a good question. It's a really good question, because at the time, the one I'm working on at that time is normally the best one, because I always try and outdo myself every time. Just trying to think now. Certainly, relatively recently, there have been some quite good ones. I mean, I quite enjoyed doing the one about the cinema here with Andy. Mine's gone blank now. You've put me right on the spot there.
What you mean to say, he loves them all. He loves them all. They're all good. Yeah. Especially the cinema one. That's the best one. And the Gasworks one. No. Do you have any projects that you look towards and go, actually, that's what I want to do. That's going to be a big one I want to aim for.
Yeah, sometimes it's a bit like that. I try and have a few topics that I inquire about. Sometimes you end up meeting a bit of a dead end, or somebody isn't particularly helpful, or sometimes you kind of meet with someone, talk about doing something, and then you put it off and you put it off and you put it off and it never happens. There's one or two of those that I've got to try and pin down. But yeah.
I am going to ask a very hard question now. Say I gave you a year and £10,000, what would you do?
A year and £10,000? I probably wouldn't invest it all into my filmmaking.
It has to be filmmaking. No, not just, I'm going to go on holiday.
Because I'm so used to having to do stuff on such a tight, such a tight personal budget, I don't really know what I'd do, to be honest.
I think that's quite nice, actually. It's just I don't need it, so I'm not going to use it. I like that.
Well, we always need it.
Does anybody have any other questions for Chris? Oh, very good.
I have a YouTube channel under my name, Chris Richmond. Don't think there's anything more to it than that on YouTube. You'll see my ugly mug and my little logo, as you see on the screen a minute ago. Yeah, I tend to keep everything all in one place. It makes it easier to find, and quite a wide audience. That Gasworks film has had 26,000 views.
Wow!
And I don't know why. It's because it's so unique here. I think it's gone worldwide. Nick did kind of share it to a few people, and I think there's a community in New Zealand, I think, who are interested in it. So yeah, I was quite surprised. They don't all do that well, but yeah.
I don't know about I don't think 26,000 people have visited the Fakenham Gasworks.
But I said this is the worldwide stage here. That's the reach of YouTube.
I think as proof of actually why you need a local filmmaker That is it. I gotta say, I think we'll say that, but I think we are going to give a massive round of applause to Chris. So thanks.
You still here? Thank you very much for watching, and hopefully I'll be back with Fakenham Film Festival next year. Now for the obligatory closing paragraph. If you enjoy my quirky, if slightly self-indulgent adventures, please don't forget to like and subscribe. I really appreciate your support. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.